Today is January 20th, 2022. My name is Charles Suter. Today I'm presenting part 22 of my series, The Rational Mind, A Guide to Rational Living. This presentation is focused on asking rational questions. My main message: when you're faced with tough choices, especially if you're under emotional distress, ask yourself rational questions. The use of rational questions will help you avoid regret and guide you to a reasonable response to adversity. If you always acted on your stressful emotions, well, you'd probably have regrets, probably more than you have now. You might ask the right questions to get the right answers. Only if you frame a problem correctly are you more likely to find an innovative solution to solve it. The key question to ask yourself before you commit to an impulsive or emotional urge are these three rational questions related to, I would say, logical consequences. Number one, will this decision further my values? Number two, what kind of a person am I or want to become? Number three, what kind of a situation is this, and how would such a person as I want to become act in this situation? Proposition one. Here's rational question number one. Will this decision further my values? Inflamed emotions can be checked with rational questions. Stopping momentarily to ask a rational question can be quite sobering. A pause to consider the long-term impact of your raging emotions will tend to stop them. The key question to ask yourself before committing to any action pertaining to an important decision, such as responding when you are emotionally upset, is a simple question. Will the urge to act on my thoughts and emotions likely bring forth a greater good and advance me towards my goals and values? If the answer to this question will determine whether you should reconsider. While you could respond to emotional distress such as anxiety, frustration, and disappointment by acting bent out of shape or playing the blame game, these responses seldom produce anything worthwhile. The key question to ask is one based on effectiveness or workability. If I allow this particular thought to guide my actions, will it help me create the life I want? If the answer is no, then you can recognize that the thought is unhelpful and that acting on it would be unworkable. Recognizing a thought or belief is unhelpful often helps to reduce its influence over yourself and makes you less likely to act on it. Rational question number two. What kind of person am I or want to become? Whatever ideals you have or values you want to embrace, at least get to know them well. Then remind yourself of your values before you act in haste to avoid regrets. Knowing who you want to become helps you make rational decisions right now. At the precise moment you want to become aware of adversity, or any situation that is determined or detrimental to your preferences or values, you need to become mindful enough to pause before you act on your impulses and ask yourself, what attitude am I going to choose for dealing with this situation? Specifically, you must ask yourself, what kind of person do I want to be in this situation? If you want to be a rationalist, then you ask yourself, how would a rationalist respond to adversity? The answer is an easy one. A rationalist would respond to adversity by choosing to accept the reality of the situation, adopt a positive mental attitude, and choose rationally how best to deal with the situation. Rational question number three. How would my ideal self act in this situation? First, identify your situation, and then ask how your ideal self would respond to it. Consider how you might realize your values in your present circumstances, and especially avoid actions that are misaligned with your values or ideals. The first part of the question is, what kind of situation is this? And then make an honest effort to define it clearly and accurately without emotionally overlaid biases or distortions. The next question to ask is, what kind of person am I? Just to remind yourself of the person you aspire to become, which is your ideal self, or to be reminded of your defining values. The final question to ask is the most thought-provoking and spiritually based of all. What would someone like me, or the person I want to become, do in this situation? After answering these questions, you will have a very clear idea of the rationally best way to respond to adversity and your emotionally distressed urges. And my final message: before taking doubtful actions, especially under emotional distress, ask rational questions to get rational answers. Here's another overarching question to ask about your life in general. Am I living a greater than or a less than life? Most people would answer that they seek to live a greater life, but few people are actually doing so because they're restrained by irrational beliefs, stuck in their current comfort zone, and ruled by their irrational beliefs. To begin living a greater than life, you must eliminate those irrational beliefs that are restricting and limiting your lifestyle choices. The more you eliminate your hidden irrational beliefs and replace them with irrational beliefs, the more your life shifts to a greater than life. There's no reason why everyone can't begin living a greater than life, including you who are listening to this presentation, no matter what your current physical circumstances. Just ask yourself one of these rational questions, and then, based upon your answer, begin to take the right action. That's all for now. Remember to stay positive. You'll be happier, healthier, and live longer.